I am interested actually to see what Muyenzi does here, because there is something that you can do on these bot lane mages. I'm interested to see if Hellman does the same. It's where you will end up starting with just a sapphire crystal,
Yeah.
and you'll have futures market from your inspiration tree, and you'll then end up going for an early recall with the teleport to get a very, very early lost chapter. But it doesn't look like either of our bot lane mages this game are going to do that. We do see Karolinerna, though, walking forward as a group. Mama could be caught out here. Rupture goes wide, and it's a flash from the Thresh. Not going to give over an early first blood to this Karolinerna team. That's only reserved for the main team's privilege.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's... I think Mama possibly could have saved the flash, but I can understand.
I think the Rupture missed, so yeah, I don't think he had to, but...
It's an understandable one, realistically.
And it's so early. Losing a flash before the first minute is over isn't necessarily going to be too bad, because it's quite difficult to punish. You think it's already about an eighth of the way back up off cooldown?
Yeah. The big thing as well, though, is you're against a Bard and a Heimerdinger bot lane. There isn't much you're going to be pressured by here.
No.
If anything, that flash just... It helps by the fact that you're going to be safer, realistically.
Yes, it means you're going to be sitting further back. Falio looking for a bit of poke onto Evil Eye and Club Aunt here at the blue buff, throwing those cleavers. Rupture going to go wide, although he does have the spell shield, because, you know, Mundo passive means he can just go wherever he pleases. But Jungler's going to be clearing opposite from each other. So we're not going to see we're not likely to see any early Scuttle Crab fights.
No. And those briefcases are really hurting Evil Eye already.
Yeah, Falio really just going after Evil Eye. The Cho'Gath not able to pop the spell shield really easily on the Mundo. And Falio is taking full control, proving he is the CEO of top lane in this matchup.
I love that skin.
So it's so good. The swag walk is great.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be seeing Falio's stonks definitely going to be going up this game. And yes, I am trying to make as many... Yes, I am trying to make as many corporate puns as possible. But yes, you are correct. Big trading in the mid lane. Loftition seeming to win out, though, on Utmanaren. Falio and Evil Eye continuing to trade the briefcases, really slamming down onto the Cho'Gath.
Yeah. It's hard to make a case for Corporate Mundo being bad in this matchup. God, I thought that was a good one.
That was so bad.
A big hook.
Big scatter the week into the hook onto Muyenzi. He could be in trouble here. Flashes away from the Flay. Exhaust not going to come out from Mama Ignite, saved by Elonomics as well. But that's going to actually give the Summoner Spell advantage over to Invul. The flash from Mama over halfway back now.
Yeah.
So there will be a big time period where Muyenzi is going to be vulnerable. Falio bossing this top lane, seemingly having an absolutely great time. Johnsony invading the Karolinerna topside jungle as well, so Evil Eye just being left completely on his own, abandoned almost by his team. As the junglers trade invade timers. The briefcase is popped off, and Evil Eye able to pick it up to stop Falio from grabbing that extra HP. Actually slightly holding the health advantage, but obviously no mana on the Cho'Gath, and Mundo being a resourceless champion makes it so much easier to go for those trades. Oh, Yonsei now coming in. The Rupture's going to hit onto one. The pillar is available and is going to come through. Flashed away from Evil Eye. A briefcase connects. But the Cho'Gath just able to get himself out alive. Nice flash over the pillar there from Evil Eye. Trading in the mid lane. Utmanaren going onto Loftish. Exhaust is going to come down as well. But it's not going to be forced overly hard by Utmanaren. The Tornado connects. No level 6 on the Asuo though. Otherwise you would have imagined that would have been Loftishen's final breath.
Yeah.
And Hellman and Mama, you thought the pressure might lie on the side of Invul, actually, didn't? Was that what you were discussing earlier?
Yeah, I thought it potentially might be.
The Heimerdinger turrets really seeming to put in a lot of work here. A lot of work being put in by Mwienzi on his debut. Definitely a very, very encouraging first 3.5 or so minutes for the Karolinerna white AD carry.
Yeah. Although AD carry, I think, is a bit of a misnomer in this lane.
Well, mage, yes.
Yes.
We'll say mage.
Yeah. APC.
Yes, definitely. But CS leads across the board, all moving in the Karolinerna white's favor. The only person on Invul who does have the lead over his opposite number is Mama. The Relic Shield versus the AP range damage item. I can't remember the name of it.
Loftition, though, does have...
yes, okay. Yeah, just got himself back. And he's going to be looking for a roam top, actually. So Evil Eye, no flash. Has a Lucian in his lane. Falio flashing forward. The Rupture's going to go way wide. And Evil Eye is going to be culled. The final auto attacks and the piercing light to secure the kill. First blood for the Lucian in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Very nicely executed roam. The wave shoved up nicely. Yonseni being able to catch the wave as it crashes under the mid lane turret as well. 400 gold in the back pockets for Loftition. 200 gold in Falio's back pockets. And that top lane's not going to get any easier.
No, definitely not.
But we do see the dragon started up by Karolinerna, Clubbarn, and Utmanaren utilizing the pressure in the bot lane, utilizing the fact that Loftition had just roamed up towards the top side. Evil Eye now getting dove on by Falio. Between his turrets, Dragon is slain, but Evil Eye is trading half of his HP, 3/4 of his HP even, as the sadism is popped. Another briefcase lands. Yonseni is here. The frozen tundra is thrown down, but the good rupture. Is Evil Eye going to be able to trade back? He does with the feast. 1-for-1 in the top side. Yonseni going to be able to answer the kill. But what could have been a very, very clean dive for Invul. Very nicely played by Evil Eye with the rupture to land the double knockup.
I think you're slightly behind me, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm going off the Discord stream.
Yeah. There's very little we can do. Sorry, Twitch.
Unfortunately, internet bad.
Yeah.
But Utmanaren getting forced out. Do you want to go into a server and see if that'll improve it?
Potentially.
Oh, wait, never mind. Loftition getting dove on, flashing away from Clubbarn. The Dragon's Rage kick not going to be able to come out, though. As Clubbarn's still hunting. Yonseni in the area does have the pillar available. Knocks back the Lee Sin. The ward hop away. But is it enough? Going to be able to get himself out to the Bard that's joined the fray. Yonseni going to fall to Clubbarn. Just escaping on a sliver. And the Bard ult going to mean Loftition, sorry, going to go down as well to Utmanaren. Karolinerna white are really striking back with some plays here.
Yeah.
As we see another trade in this top side. It feels like whenever we look at this top lane, there's permanent fighting. Falio taking the worst side of this trade, though, and I'm not sure if the feast is available for Evil Eye. Falio, though, 3 people waiting in the wings. The Rupture's going to miss. The Magical Journey bringing over Elonomics. But Falio's playing dodgeball today. Dip, duck, dodging, and diving out of the way of every skill shot before going on the aggressive himself, throwing out the briefcases. Sonic Wave going to connect. The hook goes wide on the bot side onto Elonomics, but the Bard could be in trouble. Sadism is popped by Falio, and he's going to try and run down the Bard. Burst Cleaver connects. Another Magical Journey's thrown down, but the pillar will deny it. Falio finds Elonomics. Invul likely to find Rift Herald.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the bot lane, the mages are just trading with each other.
Almost completely even on CS as well. I mean, there is nothing to split these two.
No, Hellman and Mwienzi both putting up very solid showings. Loftition getting a lot of chip damage here on the mid lane tower as well. Somewhere that Invul could potentially look to rotate with this Rift Herald.
Yeah, as it has just been taken as well now.
But as we are about to crest the 10-minute mark, who would you say is in the more advantageous position with the current game state?
There's an engage in the mid
Right
lane.
in the mid lane, Marma going to get stunned up by that Bard ultimate. Pillar going to block off Utmanaren, but no, the last breath bringing him in. Marma is traded off for Clubbarn. 1-for-1 so far in the fight. Utmanaren gonna get himself fallen down to Jonsny as well as Falio joins the fight. He might be slightly late for the meeting, but he is gonna get himself in there, finding Elonomics. Hellman picking that one up.
And
I believe 3-for-1 plus mid lane outer turret in the fight for Invul.
Yeah. And a second charge is definitely going to hit as well.
Potentially two mid lane turrets. Yeah, potentially 2 mid lane turrets here. But no, Muyenzi going to get there just about in time. The Heimerdinger has the rockets, has the turrets, going to keep that turret just about alive.
Significant damage, though, on that. Over 3,000 damage done to that inner turret.
It's over 3,000!
Oh, dear. One thing I do want to note, though, is 68 to 42 CS in the jungle right now. A big, big difference.
But we look at the kill participations. Jonsny definitely having a lot more success as Clubbarn diving forward on to Mama. Slowed up by the Bard. Sonic Wave connects on as well, but the Lantern and the Flay going to mean Mama stays alive.
While this is happening, Falio getting 2 turret platings, potentially looking for his third in the top lane as well here.
Now, returning back to my question before that fight in the mid lane kicked off.
Yeah.
As we crest the 10-minute mark, who do you think is in a more advantageous position?
Oh, another fight breaks out, though.
Another fight. Never mind. Clubbarn's going to find Mama. Ult going to come down from the Bard as well to keep Elonomics alive. And it's just going to be a 1-for-0 pick here for K5. Unless, no. Okay, Evil Eye stunned up by the Scatter of the Week, but nothing going to follow through.
Wednesday.
Minions not up at the turret. Oh, Muyenzi getting dove on now by Loftish. The culling is coming through. Can the Lucian find the final shots? It doesn't look like it's going to be Dragon started up by Karolinerna. Falio, no teleport. Loftish, no teleport. So there shouldn't be any ability to join from the solo laners, and it is picked up by Evil Eye. Cho'Gath is feasting well in this game, but Falio grabbing himself the top lane tower.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty significant when you think about how much turret plating gold has been picked up here.
Yeah,
that is
two full turrets.
And it's looking like another turret plate will be falling, and it'll be solo
At least
to
another turret. At least one more turret plate, yeah. So there's one plate. Can Hellman get anything else off of this tower? He is being joined by his support, and he looks like he is going to get the second plate, you know.
And I like this, giving Hellman all of the space he needs to get even more solar plating gold. Mama obviously
clearing out the wave as well.
Yeah, that's nice. So,
forcing Muyenzi to either tank the wave or lose some minions to the tower.
So what you were trying to get me to answer 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, another fight nearly going to break out.
Oh,
potentially
God,
another fight.
Oh no, never mind. The Scatter of the Week connects, and it's going to be no. The power is not yet unleashed. Hellman with another Dark Sphere can't quite find the kill. And it is the Bard ult going to find everything. Hellman going to get destroyed by Evil Eye on the teleport. Rupture going to find Mama. And he is not long for this world. He's died once. He can die twice. And Cho'Gath picking up a double kill in the mid lane. Loftish now being jumped on in the mid side. The last breath coming through, but the Trundle is in the area of the pillar. But no, Utmanaren finding one. Can they find the second onto Jonsny? I believe it is Clubbarn that is subjugated. But Jonsny going to be able to just walk himself away.
Right, what I was trying to answer 3.5 minutes ago, before all of that fighting brought out.
It's just unrelenting.
Yeah. Who's in a more advantageous position at this point? It is... you've got to say, it's probably Karolinerna White.
In terms of the map state, though, looking at the turrets and looking at the effective area that both teams have to play with, I think finding those first 2 towers in the mid and top sides from Invul is incredibly important.
Yeah, the pure amount of gold that they provide, which you can see, even though 2 dragons ahead and 2 kills ahead, it is a 1.2k gold deficit for Karolinerna White.
But also just the safety and the vision that those turrets give you. And Utmanaren could be in trouble here, diving forward onto Loftish, but Jonsny and Mama both in the area. Can the mid laner keep himself alive? And it looks like he's going to just about. The Lantern keeping him up with a sliver, and Jonsny finding the shutdown onto Utmanaren. Perfectly timed there, really, by Invul getting Mama and Jonsny into the bot lane at the last possible second to keep their mid laner alive.
Just about. And it's a TP from Muenze.
It's Mwenzi. The culling gonna come down though, and Loftition wants this fight. No, just zoning off the Heimerdinger, trying to run up the river, but no, Elonomics is there. Lantern gonna carry Loftition over the wall and keep him safe.
That's a big TP as well. A big cooldown used there.
Cooldown.
Particularly when you have Rift Herald spawning pretty much now. That is something to be wary about for Karolinerna White.
Loftition not having his teleport either and is going to have to recall off that. His teleport will be up very shortly, though, if you do look at the timers. So he's going to run himself straight back down to the bot lane and get a bit of a split push going. Has the teleport advantage over Utmanaren as the Yasuo opting for the exhaust over the teleport.
Yeah. And Rift Herald does look to be started up by Invul. 4 members up at the Herald.
Yes, 4 of the Invul members up by this Rift Herald, going to be trying to secure that one for themselves. To secure themselves potentially an inner tower, maybe even a inhibitor tower, that mid lane turret very, very low. And the Herald is picked up. Karolinerna, though, setting up on towards this bot side, threatening away Loftition from the wave. Falio gonna stop Evil Eye's back there with the Sunfire Aegis.
Yeah.
Rift Herald is summoned here in this bot lane, and now Evil Eye in trouble. Subjugated up by Yonsei, and Falio is diving forward. The Cho'Gath, no resistance is left. He takes a cleaver. His company's been sold, and Falio is reaping all of the profits.
Yeah. And that's quite big as well when you think about 20 seconds death timer, 20 seconds till dragon. Just ticking over now to 10 seconds.
Teleport for Evil Eye as well.
Yeah. So no
the
Cho'Gath
Sonic Wave
feast.
connects onto Helman. Can Club-On go and look for an insect? Not going to opt to do so.
Yeah.
Falio just looking for some vision, really.
Yeah.
Strutting around the river, making his presence felt.
So it is currently going to be a 5v4.
Yes.
Realistically, Helman TPing in.
No, yeah, okay, there is a teleport coming in.
Helman TPing in, so this will be...
The dragon, yeah, dragon's just going to be secured by Invul. Karolinerna are not opting to contest. Yeah. Not going to have the ability to. And, yeah, so Invul potentially going to start setting up towards the Baron, maybe?
You would assume so. 2.5 minutes to go before Baron. You kind of think this is where you want to start getting a bit more map control, a bit more vision, and they obviously have a huge amount of map control right now, as Falio looks to be going on to
Utmanaren is in trouble. Mama over the wall, does have the flash, does have the hook, but there is a wind wall potentially to come out, flaying back the Yasuo. The tornado comes through, as it does the final breath, and Mama is destroyed by the Yasuo. Elonomic's going to connect that one, as Yonsei is stasised up by the Bard. Falio charging back forward, so does have the sadism running, but no further kills going to come through. Mama, the sacrificial lamb, you have to think, really, there.
Yeah, but another turret. That 4 turrets to 1, and that is
another turret picked up.
Amount.
Another turret picked up by Invul. And it's not so much the gold. Obviously, the gold when you knock over a turret is nice, don't get me wrong. But the impact on vision and on where you feel safe in moving around the map is so huge.
Yeah.
Every time you find one of these towers.
Yeah. The pathways that it limits when you have a turret taken away from you is pretty big, and particularly in this mid lane.
I'm pretty sure we spoke about it in Tuesday's game.
Yeah.
But it can be so impactful for your mid to late game setup, your objective play, and just your map rotations in general.
Which is why, though, it's quite interesting having a Bard, because of the potential avenues it does take. And Club-On in a very awkward position.
Yeah, Club-On gonna get chunked within an inch of his life. No, Loftition gonna tag the last shot of the culling into the back of his neck, and that's another turret in the mid lane gonna fall. And this is what I meant in draft: the lack of wave clear. Utmanaren, Club-On, both very, very short ranged, as well as Evil Eye. The only real wave clear coming from that Cho'Gath rupture and from the rockets and turrets out of Heimerdinger.
So Baron is going to be up very, very soon, in about 10 seconds from now.
I'm not expecting either of these teams to even look towards it without finding some kind of a pick.
I would expect the next big 5v5 to probably be around bot side dragon. You would assume.
Both of these teams, though, do have very, very good Baron take.
Yeah.
Would probably have to give the edge over towards K White, just purely through the Liandries on the Heimerdinger and the Feast on the Cho'Gath, but
Yeah.
both teams very, very solid Baron taking ability.
This
Would
stage
actually
in the
quite
game,
like
though-
to... Oh, no, go on.
Also,
Go on.
just saying, at this stage of the game, you asked me on the cusp of 10 minutes, I'm asking you cusp of 20. Who is in the better situation at this point?
I think getting that third dragon and starting to find more turrets. And if they can find this kill onto Utmanaren, it will be even better for them. But, I mean, I'm going to say Invul. Yonseni actually getting turned around on the teleport from Mienzi is blown. But they find the kill onto Yonseni, taking the Invul jungler off of the map. Dragon not for another minute and a half, though, and the play happened on bot side. So it would take too long to get to the Baron, really, to do it. Loftition now going onto Utmanaren, but that Yasuo, a lot of damage going to be coming through from him. Flash forward under the turret. Loftition is going to find the kill and dodges the tornado, keeping himself alive, finding the kill on Utmanaren.
Yeah.
Really nicely played there in the 1v1.
The Gale Force is just so clutch in repositioning.
Yeah. Yeah, you thought Relentless Pursuit gave Lucian too much mobility? Well, why don't we add a second cast of it?
Yeah.
And why don't we make that second cast of it actually deal damage?
Yeah. And be an execute as well.
Yeah, because, you know,
Why not?
makes sense, doesn't it? Makes sense. But anyways, Invul seem to have the positioning around this dragon. Utmanaren just about to respawn. So will be a 5v5 around the objective. Falio not with his team right now, but I believe does have the teleport. So can join at a moment's notice. Is going to walk down to the objective, though.
Yeah. As swag as
Invul
possible.
searching for mid lane prio, finding a slow on to Muenzi. Falio landing
Who
all
might just
of his
go
briefcases.
down.
He's just going to find the solo killer, is he? Yeah, finding Mienzi just strutting through the enemy team. Is going to get taken down, though, by Evil Eye.
By the feast,
Feasted
though,
away.
importantly.
Yeah, forces out the feast. The kick into the last breath onto Helman, though, and that is going to be a shutdown for Utmanaren. Loftition on the side. The culling is being fired. Yonseni is tanking up as much as he can. But Loftition is trying to dash himself out. The Relentless Pursuit taking him a little bit further away, but he is going to be slowed up. He is going to be taken down. It's another kill for Evil Eye. The Cho'Gath really getting rolling in this game. Has that Thornmail completed. Has the, I believe, Frostfire Gauntlet as well. And that's going to be Dragon number 3 over to Karolinerna. No chance of Baron, realistically, I wouldn't imagine, with Helman and Yonseni, Helman and Falio, sorry, both up within the next 5 seconds and both having teleports. But does offer Karolinerna White a lot of pressure around the objective.
Yeah. It is going to be Cloud Dragon Soul, though, if they do get the next one, which we all know is maybe not the most impactful, and they don't maybe have the champions that can best take advantage of that, but at the same time,
It's still useful.
yeah, this ultimate cooldown reduction is so useful. The last breath of Yasuo will practically be up constantly.
Yeah,
if
it
they do
will
get a
go down to
second one.
almost like a 20-second cooldown.
Yeah.
That kind of a
Genuinely,
range at max rank, which just feels unfair.
Yeah. Potentially able to use it twice in a team fight.
Yeah, which it starts bordering on the realm of what is going on, Riot Games, why have you done this?
Yeah. Could be quite useful on the Bard, though, you would imagine.
Well, it could be very useful even on the Heimerdinger. You pop the upgrade and you don't actually cast the spell, you just use it to reposition.
Yeah, as well. And it gives
Use it as more of a Liandry, not Liandry's, Shirelia's proc rather than a ultimate.
Oh, I think there's going to be a pause. Looks
Oh
like
yeah, Elonomics with a DC.
That's fine. So, 24 minutes in, 13 kills to 11 for Karolinerna White. But the gold lead is still on the side of Invul. It's not much.
Purely from structures.
Yeah, purely because of that 4 turret difference, as well as the huge amounts of turret plating that they got in the early game.
And I would say it could be CS leads as well, but the CS is kind of even across the board. Because there are big leads for Falio and Helman, but then Loftition and Yonseni are also barely far behind their opposite numbers.
Yeah, so it's kind of very, very close, realistically. Uh, it's very evenly balanced. And you, like I said before the game started in the draft, I like the 5v5 potential that Karolinerna White's team has. And it's
Yeah, I
being
mean, we've
shown
seen
in
them
these
executing
fights.
on it.
Yeah.
We've seen them executing very well on it. But we have also seen it being exploited in these side lane plays from Invul.
Yeah. And you look at what the Lucian now has: a completed Gale Force, a completed Serelda's Grudge as well, which means the Cho'Gath and the Lee Sin, which have been building these health and resistances, are going to find themselves actually just unable to get onto the Lucian and taking a lot more damage when they do try and engage.
But that's a very nice selfless purchase from Loftish, and I do really like to see that. Because he's obviously going to be hitting the front line anyway. So that actually is not just a purchase for him, his own kiting. It's a purchase for the entire team.
Yeah.
Any kind of slow, any kind of delay, if it's a second, if it's half a second even, that the Lee Sin, the Cho'Gath, the Yasuo take longer to get on top of someone, it's going to be a massive help for someone like Hellman. So he can maybe fire off one more spell, get that little bit more chip damage.
And let's have a quick talk about Moenze and Hellman. They're both finishing their second items. They've just both finished second items. And they're both now getting to that kind of peak mage performance, realistically. And I think we'll both be seeing them become a lot more useful in these fights to come now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think Heimerdinger and Syndra are actually going to be two of the mages that are pretty useful at any stage of the game, just due to how their abilities work.
Yeah.
Obviously with the turrets, and then with the Unleash power into the Scatter the Weak from Syndra.
Yeah.
But I think definitely we could see Utmanaran or Muyenzi or even Elonomics getting themselves one shot by Hellman in these upcoming fights.
Yeah. I will say that a Yasuo with the shield bow and exhaust will be a very difficult target to 100 to 0 for a Syndra. But it potentially looking for Elonomics and Muenze. Muenze obviously does have a Zhonya's though, again kind of countering the ability of Hellman to just press that button, press.
But even if you are going to use a Zhonya's to dodge away from the Syndra ultimate, you're allowing the Syndra to set up for a big Scatter the Weak.
That's true.
Getting all those spheres down onto the ground.
Yeah.
It really enables you to potentially scatter the entire enemy team, stunning them all in place.
Yeah.
And yeah, it really opens up an opportunity for your team.
This pause could be quite interesting though as well, because it gives the team as we go back, into game. Yeah. But I wonder what both teams have kind of discussed in that pause. Whether it will help Invul potentially kind of. We've got the pause glitch, unfortunately.
Just rewind and go from there.
Okay. Hopefully this should now work. Yeah.
We pray. Technical issues, guys. Apologies. Happens.
The Riot spectate bug is still there, unfortunately. It looks to be all good.
Small indie company, yeah.
There we go, yeah. It's all back to normal. And
excellent.
It looks like Karolinerna White are going to try and get as much vision control over this Baron now as possible.
I mean, makes a lot of sense. They don't want to allow Invul with this Lucian, who's going to be pumping out the damage with this Trundle, to have a moment in the dark to start tearing through the Baron's health bar.
Very much so.
But Johnson moving up towards this top side, we could see a potential play onto Evil Eye, but no, Ward's going to spot him out. Marma, I think, is actually waiting on Vision, is just sitting up next to Hellman to keep some support for his AD carry, as Muyenzi gets chunked out there a little bit.
What time are you on, by the way, right now?
I'm watching through your stream.
Yeah, okay, that's fine then.
As Loftition's getting dove on, Hellman finds Muenzi in the mid lane. Loftition just going to get flashed on and feasted in a solo kill in the top side, though. Utmanaring the dive back over the wall on to, I believe that is Yonsei. Unleash power coming through onto the Yasuo as well, and Utmanaring not going to quite fall the Immortal Shield Bow making him just that, immortal. Scatter the Weak going to keep Hellman alive as Falio is tanking 2 in the backline. Hellman able to get himself away in the dot, and the Mundo doesn't seem to have too much more of a chance. The Sonic Wave Resonating Strike going to come through. How much longer does Falio want to survive? Rupture's going to go wide as Clubbarn going to have to flash himself away. Now it's Evil Eye going for Falio. Falio's ticking down slowly but surely. Surely the Mundo going to fall here, just buying as much time as he can, and is taken out by Cho'Gath.
There we go. And like we said,
another fight in the favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, another fight in the favor of K5.
Yeah.
Yasuo really able to get so much work done there, though, with the Immortal Shield Bow, dropping to a sliver, a very, like, almost no HP, and but just about being able to heal himself up and keep himself alive for that couple of extra seconds.
Yeah. And this is so difficult, though, because Shield Bow does not have the longest of cooldowns. It's 90 seconds, isn't it? And that's a late game. There's not enough time to engage on the Yasuo when Immortal Shield Bow is down. So always have essentially that kind of free barrier whenever he is engaged on.
Yeah. Yeah, Immortal Shield Bow, I think the shielding it gives is, personally, I think it's a little bit too much, but, you know.
I mean, at this point, 633.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot, but, you know, it happens.
Yeah. So, it's still, though, the gold lead is in favour of Invul, even though 4 kills now behind. And it could be a big ult from Elonomics.
Yeah, Elonomics going to catch out 2 as the fight does then ensue. The box going to come down, but the last breath is huge, and Invul going to have 2 quick kills taken away from them. The third going to follow as Hellman is going to drop. Falio surviving on the backline enough. I think he got kicked over the wall there, actually, as Loftician's going to be able to get himself away. Falio goes down 4-0 for Karolinerna White.
And Dragon,
in a very well executed team fight.
Dragon is up, and it's going to be taken very quickly, and it's almost certainly going to be a Baron started up as well. Both objectives will be going down.
Yeah, both objectives going to go over to K5 White.
Yeah. And it was a huge Lee Sin ult, I think, actually, after the Bard, that meant a 3-man last breath for Invulnerables.
And we know what Yasuo can do. If you find a big ultimate, it can decimate HP bars.
Yeah. And this is huge. Cloud Soul and Baron taken for Karolinerna White. And now the gold lead for the first time this game, I'm pretty sure, is now in favour of Karolinerna White.
Yeah, swinging back very, very hard here. Invul with some work to do if they want to find their way into the victory of this game.
Yeah. But what can Invul do here?
Side lanes, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, but into Baron minions, you have to be putting 3 men into it at least.
Oh, I agree.
Wherever the Baron is pushing.
I completely agree, but it's gonna be interesting to see what Invul can come up with. We've seen them backed into a corner like this before, and sometimes they've actually been able to pull something out of the bag, so it'll be interesting to see if they can find a catch, find a decision, find an objective rush even, to get themselves back in the driving seat in this game.
Elonomics, I think, has been a standout player so far for Karolinerna White.
Ooh, big stun gonna connect though onto Utmanara and Hook as well, following through.
This could be a good engagement.
Be a potential fight here for Invul. Falio diving forward. Magical Journey gonna get Elonomics out of the way. The Bard ult not gonna catch anyone, but it is just gonna be the disengage, and all the while Evil Eye on the top side is just gonna be allowed to split push.
And this will be another turret going down.
Yeah, another turret picked up the
big that
Karolinerna.
Cho'Gath is now. But not big enough against 3 members of Invul, and is going to go down.
Yeah, Evil Eye gets himself subjugated, and when you lose all of those tanky stats, you look at the items that the Cho'Gath has in his inventory. Once you lose all of those stats, it's just a little bit nuts.
I'm not sure.
Anathema's Chain's picked up by Evil Eye as well. I'm not sure who he's going to bind that to. I'd imagine Loftition?
Yeah, I'm having a look. I'm not sure if he has bound it to anyone at this point. It's not. No, I think he's sold it. That's
he has sold it. Yeah, he's hit undo.
There we go.
Okay, he's built it into a Warmog's armor now.
There we go. That would be why we're confused. It's not.
That would explain it. If it had been sold, it can't be bound.
There we go.
So yeah, going for the Warmogs instead, just going for the flat HP, doesn't feel like he needs the damage reduction. Yeah, but very nice pick. That's kind of what Invul have to do, because that killed a bit of the momentum there for Karolinerna. They managed to force them back in the mid lane, and then charge down the Cho'Gath, who overstayed a little bit on the top side. Yeah. You need to play around that.
Falio's going to be in trouble here, though.
If you're getting back into this, yeah, Utmanara going to dive onto Falio. The Randuin's active is going to be popped, actually. And Falio, able to throw out a lot of damage. Johnson now joining the fight. Does have the pillar, but not going to look to extend anything. Falio gets tagged by the tornado, but the Mundo passive means he can just walk straight through it and not even care.
Obviously, Baron has now finished. Baron buff is over. But I think there was some pretty useful play there. Loftition flashing forward.
Loftition's flashing onto Mienzi. That's very aggressive. Pillar going to stop him going any further. And I think Jonsson has just saved his mid laner. Lansing going to carry Loftition out to safety. The Rupture's going to go wide as well. But the poke is landing onto the K5 members. Definitely health bar advantage currently on the side of Invul. As Karolinerna take these extended short trades. Feels like a little bit of an oxymoron to say, but an extended short trade is really what we're seeing.
But now it is a minute until Elder Dragon spawns, just over a minute. And yeah, right now you've got to say, Karolinerna White are in the driver's seat to take that.
Yes, definitely. I would 100% agree. Like we said, it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle here for Invul to grab this objective. Even grab a teamfight victory. But if anyone's going to be able to steal an objective, from what we've seen so far this season, Jonsson is your man.
Yeah, the TP very early in from
Yenzi, I believe.
And that is potential for a death brush.
Yeah, with that Cho'Gath, you have the Rupture. You can catch even one person with that. The last breath comes through, and you can delete someone before the fight even has a chance to get underway.
The vision control in the Dragon Pit is so incredible.
Yeah, as the fight is going to start, Jonsson is going to get jumped on by Utmanara, and he's going to get feasted down by Evil Eye. The fight going very much in the favor of Karolinerna White as we do get things underway. It's going to be Marma taken out by the Cho'Gath now, as well as Falio, Helman, and Loftition in full retreat. Can Invul capitalize on any potential overextension? No, Helman going to fall to Muyenzi as Clubbarn diving forward onto Loftition. Falio going to do what he can. Evil Eye finding the Lucian, and it's currently a absolute clean sweep of the team fight for Karolinerna White. That's going to be the fight. That's going to be the game, most likely. Falio able to keep himself alive and throw one or two briefcases. But if he steps too much farther forward, he'll be finding a quick route back to the spawn platform as well. Getting an Uber ordered for him by the Karolinerna team. They're going to knock down one Nexus turret. The second will fall shortly after. And Karolinerna White, here to spoil the Invul party, take game one in the series.
Yeah.